Today I'm going to teach you how to turn this piece of chicken into this delicious and yummy chicken cream stew. Stay tuned until the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Let's go. So I am beginning off with these parts of chickens. Any parts of chickens doesn't really matter, but I prefer using these parts because they don't have any bones. They're very easy to actually work with, but any part of chicken should be fine. The first thing you're going to do is transfer your chicken from wherever the packaging is and into a big bowl. It doesn't matter, any type of bowl, plastic, glass, it doesn't matter, and wash well. You need to wash your chicken well because chicken can be very poisonous. The next thing is slicing your chicken parts depending on the chicken parts that you're using. Because I'm using that, I slice into these thin but long slices, so they're all done depending on your family, but mine is about 1 kilogram of chicken. Next thing is I'm putting in these red pepper flakes, depending also on how much you like chili. If you don't like chili, you can skip completely. Next off, I'm adding that mixed vegetable spice. If you're using mixed vegetable spice, do not add any salt because the mixed vegetable spice has a lot of salt. So just put a little because it can be really salty. Make sure you mix everything well. I'm sure you're wondering why we're mixing in a bowl, because we cannot put all this in the pot. This has to mix individually before we put them in the pot, and mixing in the pot doesn't really cut it. And I'm adding 4 tablespoons of cooking oil. I prefer sunflower oil as compared to olive oil because it's much more thinner. And then I'm also adding this grape vinegar, but any type of vinegar should do. Any type that you have, you cannot come and kill yourself. If you're using the grape vinegar, 2 bottle tops of it should cut it. The vinegar is there to sanitize the chicken. I'm sure by now you know I'm very paranoid when it comes to chicken, but it sanitizes, but it also adds in this Asian and tangy taste that you love so much. Mix everything and then you can transfer your mixture into any pot of your choice. As long as the pot has a lid, any pan is perfectly fine. Bring to the fire. We are using high heat at this point, not too much, just something in between, and that's how it's gonna look like. Do not stir at this point, just cover and let it do the cooking on its own. At this point, it's soaking up all the ingredients, all the pepper, all the vinegar, and all the salt and all the spices. Trust me, this smells really good, and it's gonna cook really well until the middle part. Continue covering, don't stir so much. At this point, you can start with your vegetables. We're also gonna use a little bit of tomato paste if you want. If you don't want, you can also skip that part. What we're gonna do is chop our onions, chunky parts, always do it depending on your portion, but half of a big onion should be just fine. And then moving on to your carrots, you're just gonna cut off the bottom part and the top part, and also peel as well, and then you're gonna cut into chunky parts. And we are now gonna add all the vegetables. That's how it's going to be looking like. At this point, it's still just cooking. It's just soaking up all the water from the chicken. It really has to cook really well. And then you're gonna add all the onion, and you're gonna add the carrots as well. Mix everything together really well, and just make sure that you're enjoying your cooking. Then you're gonna let it cook a little bit until all the vegetables are properly cooked. By vegetables, I mean the carrots and onions. And now we're gonna go ahead and add our crema. But if you don't have crema, this chicken is completely done. Like, you can eat it just like that. But if you have crema, we are going to continue and add our crema into the chicken, mixing everything well. I think 1 pack of crema should be enough for 1 kilogram of chicken. And just mix everything together. At this point, you would want to lower your heat because you don't want the crema sticking to the bottom. And we are also going to proceed and add our tomato paste. If you also don't want tomato paste, you can completely skip this part as well, because this chicken has been done a few minutes ago. But if you want all these steps, you're just gonna mix everything together and add some water because we really need it to be so stewy. And we're gonna be mixing from the sides and gently because we don't want to lose all the creaminess that we've already created. Be gentle, and you're gonna cover, let all the crema be infused into the chicken. At this point, we're really cooking with very low heat, and Voila, we are all done. Depending on the type of person that you are, if you're like me, you like your stew really stewy. That's why I didn't let all that water evaporate. But if you want it much more thicker, then you can cook it a little bit more and it's gonna lose a little bit of stew. And voila, we are done. I served this with leftover rice and leftover spaghetti. No judgment, please, but it was so yummy. This is gonna taste the best. Keep healthy and keep eating.